Hello everyone, this is Mumbo here, welcome back, and today we are back on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 83, and of course we are over here at the Mumbo Jumbo Jungle base, ready to record another episode. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but in the previous few episodes we have been working on a whole bunch of farms, which is always good fun. I absolutely love working on farms in survival Minecraft. Of course we did the slime farm that is down at the bottom beneath the gold farm. And then in the previous episode, the most recent one, we worked on our giant cactus farm. And I gotta tell you, I still have bad memories from that thing. It was quite a stressful project, but we managed to get it done all in one episode. And as you can see from a distance here, the cactus is actually being farmed here. If we take a look down at the bottom, I just went along and picked a whole bunch up. But if we take a look down at the bottom, there is always at least one cactus on the floor, if not a lot more than that. So I would say this is going to produce a lot of the green stuff, which is very, very exciting indeed. But what we need to do is we need to hook this up to the main base. We can't just have this out in the open and we have to go and pick up cactus every time. We actually have to link this up using hoppers and all that good stuff. So that should be quite good fun. So what I'm thinking is the first thing that we need to do is we need to place a little bit of a case around this thing. And as far as the design goes, I don't really know. I'm pretty bad at building big objects that are going to be visible from a mile off. But one thing that does come to mind, and I know there was a little bit of debate about this one when I originally built it, if I can actually find the thing, is the tree farm. I have always thought that the tree farm looked okay, doesn't look too bad, and perhaps we could go for a fairly similar design on the outside of the cactus farm, but instead of using the standard oak wood, I thought maybe we could use stone brick. So we have stone brick going around the outside, and then we have fence posts in the middle. Then perhaps we could chuck some vines in and other jungly bits and bobs to make it blend in a little bit more with the background, because at the minute, it's a bit of a sore thumb. A very, very big sore thumb, and we definitely don't want to be keeping it like that. So that is my original plan. I don't know what it's going to end up looking like, but I think I'm just going to get straight to work on it and see how it goes. So I've just finished building the first frame, and by the look of things, this is a big structure. I hadn't quite realised how big this thing is. We'll take a look at it from the bottom in a second, but I just wanted to start recording up here to say, look how cool my base looks from up top. It looks really good, doesn't it? I am impressed. I'm impressed with what I've managed to do here, but anyway, if we just head over to the ring and take a look, yeah, this is pretty huge. It doesn't look so big from down below. If that was filled with fence posts, how would it look? I guess there's probably only one way to find out, and that is to put the fence posts in. This could go one of two ways, and I'm hoping it's the good way. Just a really quick thing to say that I have done a whole bunch of stuff since the last progress update. First things first, I have made the entire thing a little bit smaller. The original one that I built was 2 blocks away from the edge of the cactus farm, and it just didn't look quite right, did it? It looked way too big considering the size of the cactus farm, so I've shrunk that down a little bit. Also, I have made a decision, and that is that I am not going to be using fence posts. Instead, I am going to be using iron bars. Partly because I prefer the way they look, and secondly because they are a lot easier to gather than wood. Wood's really annoying, I have to use all my tree farms and things, and although my tree farms are pretty good, none of them are as good as the iron foundry. So there we go, we are going to be using iron bars, and then eventually in the end we might add in some vines, probably plant a few jungle trees around the edge just to blend in the farm a little bit, and it should end up looking fairly good. At least that is the plan. So I think I'm going to get to work on this one. Oh, that is unfortunate, and I will catch you guys in a little bit. The cage is now complete. It is all done, and it looks okay, doesn't it? It doesn't look that bad. I mean, sure, it does stand out quite a bit, okay? It stands out against the background, but as far as builds go, it definitely isn't one of my ugliest, and that's a good thing. We can define that as being a good thing. Also, in the dark, because I've got torches up at the top, this looks really cool. Like, it's got some kind of inside lighting. Looks pretty modern, which probably isn't the look we're going for in this base, but oh well. Also, one thing that I've noticed is we have got tons of torches around here. We need to sort that out. I think I'm going to have to set up some form of lighting system in this base, because all these torches, actually, now that I've noticed them, are really ugly. And that's going to put my mind on edge. Oh well, we're not going to think about that right now. But what we want to do is we want to blend this into the environment a little bit more. So I think we are going to stick a couple of jungle trees around it, just so they're sticking up next to it, so it's not the tallest thing in the local area. I'd say that's probably the best way of doing it. So I'm going to get to work on that one, and then I will catch you guys in a little bit. And just like that, it looks a whole bunch better. But that is it. We are done with the decorative elements in this episode. Now it is time to get to work on some of the technical stuff, because of course, all of our cacti are still ending up on the floor, on the ground. We don't want that, because that's wasting all of it. And like I say, there is no point in a farm in which we don't get any of the item drops. So what we need to do is we need to transport these cacti from over here all the way down into our storage system. It's going to require quite a lot of hoppers and also quite a lot of other redstone stuff, but I'm sure it won't be too bad. And I don't actually know where I wanted to go, because obviously we have all of these items here. The cacti don't really fit in this category unless we make them all the way along the bottom here. Instead, we could do it on this side, but that might be a little bit of a trek. So perhaps, I think we are actually going to fill up this area here. So if we grab our cacti and plonk it in some of the item frames, all of these chests are going to be filled with cactus. That is the plan. So it's quite ambitious, but I'm sure we can do it, because that farm is fairly efficient. So now what I need to do is grab a whole bunch of hoppers and start running the items into them. So I am almost done with the item collection area here, just struggling along with the current. We are trying to do the other side. So what we've got is we have got water that pushes all of our items down into the middle, and in the middle here we have obviously got a set of hoppers that will pick up all of the items. You can quite clearly see that. I can quite clearly see that. I don't even know why I'm explaining it to you, because you've probably seen this sort of thing tens of hundreds of times before by myself, because I do it quite often. But anyway, we are almost done here with the item collection. These are just the final water streams going in place, and there we go. That is it's complete. So if we check the hopper at the end, we should see a whole bunch of cacti right at the end, and there we go. We have got 3 in that one and 9 in that one. Not doing too badly. It's not quite the rates that I first imagined, but of course these hoppers have only been in place for all of about 2 minutes, so I'm not going to be complaining there. A little bit more progress has been made now. So what I have done is I have done the tunnel from our cactus farm all the way to the chest, and one thing that I will say is that it's a lot further than I first imagined. So here are our chests. That is the 3x3 door that we built in the previous episode, or the one before that. Can't really remember. My brain's a little bit fried at the minute. But anyway, if we walk along this tunnel, you can see that it is going to need a lot more hoppers than I first imagined. Because if you take a look up there, that is where the cactus farm is. It's about 25 blocks up. So that means we have to go 25 blocks down, couple blocks along like this, and then about 30 blocks along like this. And we need to run all of our items into all of these chests. And the way that we do that is just by placing hoppers going inwards like this. So straight away, I'm probably going to use up all of my hoppers here just by doing this little area. So if you just plonk down all of the hoppers here, you can see that we have them running into each and every one of the chests. And then also we'll have some running in here, and we need some way for it to get down to the bottom. I don't know how we're going to do that. I'll think that one through. 500,000 hoppers later, and we have got ourselves a pretty good little cactus transportation unit. So if you take a look down here, you can see the hoppers go right the way down to the bottom. It's pretty dark down there, so I don't know if you can actually see any of it, but all the hoppers go along like that and then do some wiggly stuff down underneath the ground here, and they finally make their way over to the chest. And speaking of that chest, how about we take a look and see if any of the cacti... Oh, no! Oh! Gee, he was camouflaged, wasn't he? I did not see him coming in the slightest. Woo! Okay, anyway, if we head over to our little cacti bin, let's see if we have any other drops coming through. And yes, would you look at that? We have got cacti drops coming through. It has stopped now. So already we have got 2.5 stacks. We also have all of these ones that are up here from when I didn't quite finish all the hoppers. So that has been a pretty good cacti farm so far. Wow, we have got a lot of stuff already, so that is something to be proud of. I'm looking forward to seeing how much cactus we can manage to get. But anyway, here are all the hoppers. This is just the back of it. There are tons of hoppers out the back here. I did this a really weird way. I don't know if this was particularly efficient, but anyway, the hoppers also run across the top there and all the way along the top of this one. So that is that. That is the first part of this episode done. Now we pretty much need to do the same thing, but for the slime farm. If we just pop down to the bottom of our base here, we will take a look at where we have to get our slime balls from. And also, I want to check if we have had any slime balls. I don't know if we have had the slime farm loaded while we were working on the cactus farm, but it is worth checking out. Are there any slimes in here? No, so it's not particularly promising. But anyway, let's take a look. And, oh, okay, that's not too bad. We've got a little bit extra. I guess that's from me wandering about in the base occasionally. So there we go. It is producing slime balls. To all of those of you who said, oh, slime aren't going to spawn in here because you're using half slabs. We did use half slabs, but they are upside down half slabs. And that means that they are perfectly spawnable. They act like pretty much every other block. But anyway, what we need to do is we need to transport our item drops from down here all the way up to the top of my base. And that is another little logistical nightmare because that means we need another item elevator. Now I know what you're thinking, and I was thinking the same thing as well. Why don't I just run these slime balls up using this item elevator from our automatic mining setup? But the issue with that is, of course, then they will be mixed in with all of our automatic mining drops, and I definitely don't want to be doing anything like that. So instead, it is going to need its own one that travels on upwards, and then we will need to put it into a designated area in my sorting system. Ugh, there's a lot of things to think about in today's episode. So I think this is where we are going to be making the slime blocks go, next to our melon farm drops, which as you can see have backed up fairly well, as well as the pumpkins. Not so good, but then I guess melons break into 1 billion pieces every time they break. So there we go. Also, this is the automatic sorting system for my mob drops, and as you can see, it isn't actually doing that badly. We have got ourselves tons and tons of stuff here, and also my string supply seems to be really down through the floor at the minute, which is a little bit of a problem. But as far as general mob drops go, we have got plenty of them. But this is where these slime balls are going to go. Thought it was fitting in with this area. So, now we need to go down to the bottom and we need to make that item elevator. I'm probably going to use the test 137E29 design, in which it uses the glass and then the items floating up through it, because generally speaking that one is a little bit easier to build. So I think I'm just going to get straight on and start doing all of this. Once again, I have been a little bit of a busy bee here. I have taken out the entire area required to do our item elevator. Now, it does land right in the middle of one of our strip mines, but that's one of the ones we've already done, so it doesn't really matter that much. But the only problem I have here is that our hoppers are on y equals 8, and this starts at y equals 11. Below all this is lava, and also all of the hoppers seem to want to go through the main lava level, which is a little bit of a problem. So I think I'm going to have to come up with a solution to this one, and I don't really know what that solution is going to be. I'm going to have to do some thinking, and I will tell you what I've done once I've done it. I have done the thinking, and I have done the doing. We have got ourselves a bit of a tiny item elevator here that is right next to the slime farm. That is then going to run into a bunch of hoppers that take the items over to our item elevator. So that is that problem solved. If we just take a look down at the bottom here, chuck some slime balls in, you will see that they all begin to spew out of the top like a runny nose or something. So that is brilliant. That is what we need. It's done. That is the main problem that we have. Now it is just brute force of placing down tons of hoppers, tons of glass blocks to create this item elevator, and then we will have ourselves a functional item transportation system for the second time in this episode. Oh no. Okay.
got rhythm. Snowball at the dawn and I got rhythm. I got rhythm. I got rhythm. Snowball at the dawn and I got rhythm. I got rhythm. I got rhythm. Snowball at the dawn and I got rhythm. I got rhythm. I got rhythm.
Just thought I would check our cacti chest, and look at this. Oh, this is going to be such a beast of a farm. We're going to have the most cacti out of anyone in the world, maybe. I don't know. But it seems to be working fairly well. We've managed to get ourselves, what's that, about 6 stacks in probably the past 2 hours. So that is pretty good. I might AFK overnight and just see how much I can get. But anyway, over here we have got ourselves the slime area. And as you can see, some slime has already made its way into our chest. That was the stuff from the hoppers. But if we take a look out the back here, it's a bit of a mess. Just to give you a quick warning, it really is a mess out the back, and that is because, of course, these are the item sorters for our mob spawner. This is what does all of the mob drops, but also just off to the left, as you can see a little bit of glass here, this is where our slime farm drops will go. And the tunnel for this one is absolutely huge. You can't even see the bottom of it. Even when I'm jumping up, can I actually ever see the bottom of it? No, it's like a bottomless pit. So there we go. That is how far we have had to transport the items, and I have used a lot of my almost infinite supply of glass, which is a bit of a problem. But anyway, what happens is the items travel along a hopper string, and then they go into this item elevator. It transports the items upwards and brings them into these hoppers that then drops it off into these chests here. So that is that system done. That is the entire slime farm now complete. We shouldn't have to worry about that one. And also the cactus farm. We shouldn't have to worry about that one. And I'm definitely not worried about that one. That seems to be producing a ridiculous amount of items. And I am fairly happy with how that has all gone. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got time for today, folks. So if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.